Celtic Park. Russell Watson just facing Ness and Dormer in the build-up to this occasion this evening. Well, that's not bad for starters. That's got the hairs on the back of most necks up. From the famous tenor Russell Watson himself, a big Manchester United fan. As the two teams meet each other once again. And as you say, Celtic, it's fair to say, look stronger in numbers and in ex-pros tonight.
Well, I think there's no doubt about that, Steve. When you look at the Celtic squad and compare it to United squad, as a matter of fact, we were talking to Dwight York before the game, when he was panicking. He was wanting to send for last-minute reinforcements. Names like Van der Sar.
Happy, was he?
No, he wasn't. Names like Van der Sar and Neville and Butt and Paul Scholes. I said, Dwight, it's too late now. You've got what you've got, and make the best of it.
What a magnificent crowd that is in here tonight. And both Gordon and Martin earlier on saying that we shouldn't be surprised by Celtic, but they wouldn't come and watch themselves playing again.
Two of the best supported clubs in the world, Steve. I was fortunate to play for both of them. Celtic, when I played here, European Cup games, 90,000. It should only have been about 70, but you'd get 20,000 over the turnstiles. And the same at Old Trafford. And last week at Old Trafford, Paul Scholes' testimonial against New York Cosmos, 75,000. And here tonight, almost a sellout. And as the two managers said earlier, who would come and watch these old Crocs? Well, there's 55 to 60,000 people coming to watch the old Crocs, but really for charity.
They've been queuing most of the day outside Celtic Park to get their hands on tickets, and what a collection of names they're going to see in the green and white hoops tonight. 4 or 5 years younger. Mike Trouble took the few in the top flight. And as I say, they're boosted by the depth of the ex-professionals in the Celtic squad tonight. And the onus certainly on the Manchester United ones to complete the 90 minutes. We've no doubt that Dwight York, who we were talking to, has just recently completed the London Marathon in less than 3.5 hours. He actually looks fitter than when he was playing at the end of his career.
You didn't tell him that when you were talking to him, though, did you?
I did, and he didn't reply. Well, they're going to enjoy the occasion, and they're going to enjoy their heroes, and two Celtic managers who were both successful in the dugouts tonight. And Henrik Larsson wasn't allowing John Hartson to get the game underway without the traditional Celtic huddle.
Crowd here at Celtic Park love that huddle, Steve. They absolutely love it. This is the old Crocs as well. This isn't a game of any great importance apart from the charity side of it.
And that was so significant that Henrik Larsson instigated that. So John Kennedy, who's played such a part in getting all these names here tonight, is going to start the game for a short while. And John Hartson, who won 3 SPL titles in his 5 years as a player here, 110 goals in his 201 games, along with the actor Gerard Butler, and is going to get this hugely anticipated evening underway. A big thrill, don't underestimate it, for these players to play in this stadium, on this stage again, one more time perhaps. And whilst it will be entertaining, talking to a couple of the players earlier on, it will be competitive. Now, Manchester United tried the old trick of starting with 12, but Simon Webb has to depart. Now they're restored to 11. And the delay is over, and John Hartson and Celtic get this evening underway. And just listen to the roar at Celtic Park. One thing's for sure, this won't finish 0-0. Dion Dublin. The actor and writer Ralph Little. And Roy Keane back in Manchester United red. And of course came to Celtic after his Old Trafford career came to an end. Forward by Thompson, here's the first proper touch of the night. Just listen to the roar for Henrik Larsson. Dublin cut it out, it came back to Hartson. This is Petter. And this is Gerard Butler. That was an opportunity. And the film actor couldn't take it.
Well, I watched him in that movie, Steve, 300. And believe me, he didn't miss very many Persians. Tonight he's missed an absolute sitter. First minute of the game, a chance to be a hero, to really make a name for himself. Not that he hasn't done already, but at Celtic Park, in front of the Celtic faithful, misses an absolute sitter of a chance.
And he is a huge Celtic fan as well. So here comes the first substitution as planned. John Hartson. Just listen to his reception.
Steve, what a brave man. Talking to him before the game, and you could see the scars from the operation on his head, and to think what he's been through, and he's back, and it's great to see him back.
His former teammate Chris Sutton, who won 7 trophies in his time with the club, he's on for John Hartson. John Kennedy will depart shortly as well. Meanwhile, this is Ralph Little for Manchester United. A fire. This is promising. York, surely the first goal, it is. Manchester United lead inside 2.5 minutes, and there is the traditional smile on the face of Dwight York again.
Well, he's the man that was moaning before the game and looking for last-minute reinforcements. No problem to Dwight, just like during his playing career. That position inside the box, he's right on the penalty spot almost. He's not going to miss. United 1-0. Well, there's no way Dwight York was going to miss that. When that ball landed at his feet, what, 12 yards out, he was bound for the back of the net.
Well, the man who scored 47 league goals in his time at Old Trafford, and who won the treble in his first campaign, sets us off on the scoring tonight. Pete Riley, the lead guitarist of the Scottish band The View, with the ball into the penalty area. Fortune didn't see him play centre-half too often in his competitive career. That's where the South African is from the start for Manchester United tonight, alongside Dion Dublin. There's the TV presenter Jeff Brazier, who we're told to watch out for again tonight. He was on Lake Noreen's books as a youngster. That's too strong for Ralph Little.
Well, I've got to say, Steve, you did say at the start of the game there's bound to be goals. You're right again.
And that's a foul on Little by Chris Sutton. Quickly taken by Brian McLaren, too quickly. Interesting role that Gordon Strachan has given the Manchester United Academy director tonight at left back. That's a sure one, it was grabbed with both hands.
Well, that's not a position he's used to either. Neither of the two central defenders. Quentin Fortune, midfield player, Dion Dublin, centre forward.
Tommy Boyd with the armband on, as it was in his playing career here. Larsson is onside. Petter cut out by Dublin. I'm not so sure the night will be a 100% success unless Henrik Larsson scores at some stage in front of these Celtic supporters. And he would be a brave man to bet against that.
Well, he certainly looks as fit as he was when he was at his prime, Steve, and He just jumped there so high. I mean, he got well up. Good header backwards, but nobody there to take advantage.
Big onus on the TV presenter Patrick Kilty. He's the only recognised goalkeeper in the Manchester United squad this evening. He went through a strenuous warm-up with the current Celtic goalkeeping coach for about 40 minutes prior to this game.
Well, is he just in there, Steve, because there's no other goalkeeper, or is that his position?
I think that is his position. He was telling us earlier on that he did save a penalty from Henrik Larsson at Soccerate. Clearly a moment that he's holding on to.
He didn't tell you there was 7-0 down at the time, did he?
Darren Campbell, Manchester born, big United fan and useful footballer as well. And he's gone for goal, beaten away by Bonner. O'Fire should have scored, and York is offside.
Of course, a goal and opportunity for Martin O'Fire. I'm not so sure Dwight York was offside. Just got a chance to see that one again. Second time in the game United have come forward. And just offside.
It's a very bright start by Manchester United legends here. Larsson to Thompson, his former teammate, now first team coach, of course, here with Neil Lennon. That's given away, though, to Dwight York. Keane, quickly closed down by Sutton. It's Campbell. He was saying prior to kick-off it was his lifetime ambition to play alongside Roy Keane. So he might not share that opinion once he's had a rollicking or two.
Well, there's bound to be one or two of those this evening, that's for certain.
So far, so good. Sutton.
7 minutes into the game, Steve, and he certainly carried out Gordon's instructions that he gave him before the game. Don't get stretched, keep a hold of the ball, short passing, no long passing, and the 1-0 in front.
That was a mistake by Thompson. This is Campbell. That's taken by Paki Bonner.
Cross there from Darren Campbell, just a bit too close to Paki Bonner.
51 years young, the Celtic goalkeeper. Forward by Butler. And Jeff Brazier landing some movement ahead of him, so he carried on. He's got it back from York. Just a little bit of a heavy touch, but a committed challenge to win it back.
That was good from Jeff Brazier. Good run, crunching tackle.
Dublin booed because he stopped Henrik Larsson in his tracks. Jeff Brazier was a youth team player at Leyton Orient for 3 years as a teenager before he suffered an injury which didn't lead him down the professional path. He's one of the younger players in the two sets of squads at 32. Sutton, Larsson, Peta, Nicky Byrne of Westlife. Another committed challenge, but a fair one by Ralph Little. It's amazing when you get these occasions, when that whistle goes, the competitive edge that comes out not only in the past players but also in the celebrities who are so thrilled to pull on the shirt of their club.
Well, just watching Ralph Little there, Stephen, with his left foot, cool as you like, stroked into the centre midfield, looked for the ball back, it didn't come back, but he looked an accomplished player.
Keane has found Webb. That's a very good interception again by Paki Bonner. Well, perhaps didn't expect to be this busy in the opening 10 minutes.
Well, that cross from Neil Webb looked destined for Dwight York at the back post.
York to Keane. McClare, of course, such a success at Celtic before his Manchester United career. In from Brazier, just too strong for Darren Campbell. Packy Bonner's a player and a person you know well, Lou.
Yeah, he's my goalkeeper when I was manager at Celtic, and a great professional. And a good save there from Packy Bonner. As you say, Steve, what, 51 years of age?
A wonderful moment for one final time for John Kennedy, whose career was so cruelly cut short at a tender age, to take the ovation of the Celtic Park faithful.
Well, it really is so sad when someone's career ends so quickly, Stephen. He never really had a chance to get going for Celtic and for his country, simply because of the injury. And as we say in the game of football, you can be lucky sometimes, your career can go great for you, you can be unlucky some other times.
Johan Mjällby, now Neil Lennon's assistant manager, is his replacement as he pulls the Celtic shirt back on. Webb. Back to him. Comes from Campbell. Dwight York closing down Sutton.
Mjällby, Steve, he can't be that old, surely.
40. Brazier. York. Martin O'Fire, good effort. And an equally good save by Bonner.
Nice little ball from Dwight York into the path of Martin O'Fire. With his left foot, decent strike at goal, good save from Packy Bonner. This game isn't going according to plan, Steve. What everyone was talking about before the game, everyone was saying mismatch, Celtic bound to win. It was just a case of by how many.
Even in a Legends game, you cannot write off Manchester United. McClare. Little and York were waiting for that. Surely number 2. Oh, Darren Campbell. You won't want to see that again.
This is a moment Darren Campbell will never ever forget. He came here tonight wanting to remember everything, Steve, but this is unbelievable, because if he had another chance, same position, there is no way he could miss the target, but he has done this time. Golden opportunity. Mjällby, misplaced header, right into the path of Darren Campbell, and he's saying, how did I manage to miss it?
You can win Olympic gold, but you can't score from 4 yards at Celtic Park. For Newport and Plymouth in his time, he is a useful footballer. Don't forget, of course, on your screen at the moment, your way to support tonight and the charity, on how you can donate. And that's why they're all here. This is Gerard Butler, Larson, and then Byrne with the effort.
Well, chances coming thick and fast now, and that was a wonderful opportunity for Nicky Byrne, right in front of goal, 20 yards out. First thing he's got to do is hit the target, test Patrick Keelty in goal, screws it wide.
There's a strong challenge on Boyd, who's gingerly getting back to his feet. That's forward from Thompson. Back with Tom Boyd. Keane. Now space for Little. Being chased by Henrik Larsson. It's not every day of the week you can say that. He's away from Larsson. And it was Steve Collins who got the eventual touch.
Not bad, Ralph Little, is he? left foot, held off Henrik Larsson.
Did play semi-pro as a youngster, still only 31. He came to prominence in the royal family. Does enjoy these occasions, huge Manchester United fan. Fire. York, back to Martin Ofaya. And Thompson came across. Martin Ofaya felt he was impeded there.
I'm not sure the return pass from Dwight York was the best thing to do. York, he could have had a shot at goal himself.
There's Little again. Brazier. Now Sutton for Celtic. Trying to feed Larsson. Cut out comfortably by Dublin.
There's a shot passing again, Steve, making sure they don't give the ball away.
Now Larsson. Bobby Petter, the Dutchman, floating it towards Gerard Butler. Almost personified from Quinton Fortune. He's still only 34, Quinton Fortune.
Just about to say, Steve, I can't believe he's not still playing. 34 years of age.
Released by Doncaster in January of last year. Wanted to continue, but after a few trials, couldn't find a new club. In fact, before he signed for them, he almost joined Celtic when Gordon Strachan was the manager and Roy Keane was playing here. It was all agreed. Unfortunately for Fortune, he failed a medical because of his knee injury. Manchester United have a free kick.
Some good play from United there, some good passing. Roy Keane and Dwight York up front, working well together.
Claire's delivery. More comfortable for Bonner. Who's fifth on the all-time appearance list at Celtic. 642 times he kept Celtic's goal. It was actually Lou Jockstein's last signing.
He was my first manager, Steve, Jockstein, and I'd like to give a mention to Jockstein because for me, alongside Alex Ferguson, two greatest managers ever, no doubt about it.
This is Petter. Done again by Dublin. By Mjällby. Bobby Petter still only 37 as well. And here's a Celtic player. That's McClare. York is onside. He has Campbell up in support, and he's unselfishly found Darren Campbell, who this time couldn't miss. And the Manchester United legends lead by 2-0.
Oh, what a surprise this scoreline is, Stephen. How cool was Dwight York there? Could have taken it on himself, could have smashed it past Pat Bonner, but just decides at the last moment to square it across the face of the goal. Darren Campbell, does he keep himself just onside? The referee's assistant says he does. 2-0. No way he was going to miss the second one. No way, missed the first one. Well done, Darren.
And let me tell you, that is a huge moment to score in the red of Manchester United for Manchester-born Darren Campbell.
Well, he's had a moment he'll want to forget, Steve, and now another moment he'll never want to forget.
Larsson's touch, away by Fortune. Gerard Butler. He thought that was deflected. The referee didn't. He's given a goal kick. Let's get some reaction down on the touchline and join Ned Bolting.
Yeah, I've got John Kennedy here. John, pride, I should imagine, in the teammates, your former teammates who've turned out here, pride in your club and the crowd who've turned out to support you and the great cause tonight.
Yeah, I think it's obviously tonight's a big occasion. You see the crowd and the turnout from the legends and the celebrities, so it's a fantastic spectacle of the game. So hopefully Celtic can get back into the game a bit more, but it's all for a good cause.
Well, absolutely. Just describe that moment when you walked off the pitch there, John.
Oh, it was something I had planned before. I'd actually home taken off after 2 minutes, but it dragged on a wee bit just with my knee. But it's just obviously a great honour to be here and part of this. Great honour to be part of this club, and it's obviously a proud moment walking off.
And of course, John, as you've just alluded to, it's not going to be the perfect night for these Celtic fans unless you turn this around. 2-0 to Manchester United. That was never on the plans, was it?
No, it was never on the plans, but it's one of these things. The result doesn't matter, but I think they'd like to make it a bit more challenging for themselves, get back into the game and hopefully get the crowd going again.
OK, thanks very much, John.
Cheers.
And as John was talking there, Momo Silla replaced Steve Collins. So the ex-professionals' numbers raised in the Celtic ranks. As the Guinea-born player's first touch, Gerard Butler. Back to Silla. Could be some introduction, this. And the referee has blown his whistle for a Celtic free kick against Ralph Little.
I think it might have been Roy Keane, Steve. He is the first clip at his heels. Ralph Little's in there. It's a foul against Ralph Little, but I just noticed Roy before that tackle. He was trying to get him from behind. 2-0 up. Roy doesn't want to lose the game now. No way.
Never did, and still doesn't do friendlies. That's towards Larsson, and then the chance for Nicky Byrne. And one he couldn't take. Put on a plate for him by Henrik Larsson.
Oh, you're spot on, Steve. Put on a plate from Henrik Larsson. Not for the first time in his career. Oh, what's 6 yards out? How could Nicky Byrne miss that?
Can they make up for it here? It's Sutton! Woodward away by Brazier, hit Kilty. It's a scramble, and then a penalty given by the referee, Des Roach. It's a penalty to Celtic.
Oh, look for certain that Celtic will score an open play. Kilty off the goalkeeper, off the post. Ball ricocheting around. And this time it was Roy Keane, I think, from behind.
And the big roar you can hear is because Henrik Larsson has assumed the responsibility. The man who scored 242 goals for Celtic to reduce the arrears. To be, didn't it? The night is complete. Larsson is back on the Celtic goal-scoring sheet again.
Well, no great surprise to see Henrik Larsson scoring at Celtic Park, Steve. During his time here as a player, regular goal scorer. Easy penalty for him right into the corner. Patrick Kilty, no chance whatsoever. Correct decision from the referee. Celtic back in the game.
The club's third time, all-time, record goal scorer. He lifted 8 trophies in his time in Glasgow. Halves the deficit. Ricky Whittle has just come on for Manchester United. The 29-year-old actor. And there's Larsson, just listen to the crowd now. Fortune. The Celtic legends, tails are up. This is Thompson. Away by Fortune. Sutton. And Keane away.
They've only played 24 minutes, Steve, and one or two of the celebrities just start to tire a little bit.
There's confirmation that Ricky Whittle, best known for his role in Hollyoaks, has replaced Martin O'Fire. Former star of Union and League in the rugby game. Little dispossessed by Silla. Pete Riley. He's Keane, so on his return to Celtic Park has given away a penalty. Campbell. Bracey is now out of position. This is Thompson. Gerard Butler's touch. Pete Riley back to Nicky Byrne. He went for the far post. He's still dreaming of that grandchild moment of scoring for Celtic.
One or two gaps just starting to appear in the back line of the United side, and unlike this pre-match talk from Gordon Strachan where he told them to keep tight and just starting to get out of position, Steve. Jeff Brazier coming forward, couldn't get back, big gap in the right back position. Really got to stay in your position, conserve your energy a little bit. You know, I hope somebody's told these lads it's 90 minutes.
Vincent O'Neill is talking to auction winners through there who bid to become his assistants for the night. It's Brazier. Confident play taking on Petta.
He's out of position again, Steve. Big hole in that right back position again.
Bobby Petta for Celtic. Larson peeling away at the back post. Fortune has to make this. It still might come to Larson. Fortune away. Remember, tonight is all about supporting the famine in East Africa. If you'd like to make a donation, all the details across the bottom of your screen right now. Is it going to be third time lucky for Nicky Byrne? Created the opening, struck Brazier, away by Dublin. This is York. Scored one and set up the other. Little. Very congested at the moment. Webb. Very good period of possession from the Manchester United legends. Darren Campbell is onside, and there are two waiting. Chris Sutton was in the way.
The best better play from Man United for a while now.
Gerard Butler. Time to try and pick his spell. And that wasn't the spot which he desired.
Well, he certainly is tired, in Gerard Butler. To barely pull his right leg back there to cross that ball into the box.
Here's Larson trying to feed Petta. Still Petta. Very nearly made it 2-2.
Well, it really should be about 4 apiece up to now, Steve, with the chances we've had at both ends. And lovely through ball from Henrik Larsson into the path of Bobby Petta. Not very often would he miss from there.
Four goals in his professional Celtic career for Bobby Petta. Simon Webb from the band Blue. And we also remember him from the Jungle a few years ago. Another Manchester-born player is going to replace the scorer The second goal, Darren Campbell.
Substitution for Manchester United, the player of 24, Darren Campbell. And the player of number 14, please welcome Simon Webb.
Keane. Webb away from the challenge of Nicky Byrne. Little. Keane. Still got it, Roy Keane.
Hey, get your fucking...
This is Whittle. Trying to show off his skills. He's won it back for Manchester United. Webb. Back to Keane. 7 Premier League titles with Manchester United. He only managed 13 games for Celtic in the end, but he did play an hour and win the League Cup with them. He was actually replaced in that final by this man, Dion Dublin, in his short spell with Celtic, and he actually scored the final goal in that particular League Cup win.
No great surprise, Steve, to see the substitutions that have been made. All celebrities. Darren Campbell, Martin Ofaya, Steve Collins.
Well, let's hear from one of the men who've just left the action. Darren Campbell, he's with Ned.
He's indeed one of the heroes of the evening. So far, there's probably 60,000 people who disagree with you at the moment. It's all going rather well, isn't it, Darren?
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Listen, it's great to be here. Obviously, it's a fantastic turnout. 60,000 people come out to support, but obviously they don't want us to win. But hey, we started off well. I missed a couple of chances, and then Yorkie put me through. So
that's quite a front three of Fire, Campbell and York, isn't it? It works.
Yeah, the gaffer said at the start of the game, he just said, right, we got our pace up front, and that's what we'll rely on. And in fairness, we've been playing some pretty decent football. Yeah, I mean, the pundits, the pre-match predictions didn't give you a chance, because Celtic have got so many more players on their books, and you guys are drawn from all over the place. Yeah, I have to say, we were on the coach, and I was at the back with Roy Keane, and we were saying, you know, we'll be lucky to get through this without getting battered. So to go 2-0 up and then, you know, give away a penalty, we're still in it. I think second half will be difficult for us because we haven't got a big squad, but we'll keep going. On the other hand, Darren, you've got Roy Keane. Just watching him in the middle of the park, scary, isn't it? He's still the same player he was. He was scary on the bus. He went, listen, it's just for fun. And then he went, no, it isn't. So, no, he hasn't changed, but I think for all of us, all the celebrities, to be on the pitch with such great former footballers and to be in Celtic Park, listen, it's a dream come true. So, you know, we're all going to have a great time and just enjoy it. All right, brilliant. Have we seen the last of you? Is that it? Probably not. Can't help it. All right, excellent. We'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.
Darren Campbell in good form. Apologies for the bad language on the touchline there, incidentally, as well. Good to know that Roy Keane hasn't changed, Lou.
Well, I spoke to him before the game, Steve, and he didn't scare me. Nice fella, Roy. People have got the wrong impression of Roy. Roy's a good man, good fella.
I agree with you there, wholeheartedly. Just perhaps you and I haven't actually been a teammate of his, so we may have a different opinion.
I'm not saying I don't want you to be a teammate of him. That's different, Steve.
In from Larson, well watched by Fortune, away by Dublin. Brian McClare has just become the most unpopular man in Celtic Park by having the audacity to challenge Henrik Larsson like that.
And the many goals that he scored for Celtic, Brian McClare, and now they're booing him. Scored plenty anyway, Steve.
99 in 145 games.
And his record for Manchester United was similar.
Reminder, if you'd like to donate to the cause tonight, the details again on your screen. And let's not lose sight of the fact that it's a magnificent cause to support the famine in East Africa. And here's McClare again. When he actually left Celtic for Manchester United, he wasn't too popular at that time either. prove to be a bad decision, though, did it?
He did fantastic for Manchester United. Same as he did here at Celtic Park. Did brilliant for Celtic.
468 games in Manchester United red.
And goals, Steve, you know.
You're really testing me tonight, aren't you?
Sorry, but you're the man with the stats.
Here comes Larsson first. A rare heavy touch from him. Should point out he's only just ahead of you. You're in the 400s as well in your Manchester United career. Strange the amount of people actually left Celtic and gone on to play for Manchester United over the years. Simon Webb for Manchester United. Up to York. He went for the return from Brian McClair, and he was fouled by Boyd.
Well, they are taking it serious. Albi and Tom Boyd arguing with the referee about the decision.
Celtic are making a change, and the lead vocalist from the Scottish band The View, Kyle Faulkner, is about to come on. And so too is Lubo Moravcik, the Slovakian. So one member of the band, The View, departs, as well as Bobby Pettit. Pete Riley goes off and he's replaced by his bandmate Kyle Faulkner, who actually has a cousin in the Celtic youth team at the moment, Lewis Toshny, who made his debut for the first team last season. And the Slovakian Lubo Moravcik, very popular figure in these parts. And he's the replacement for Bobby Pettit. It's wrong again towards Larsson, who got goal side of Dublin. And then the effort from Moravcik, who's just been introduced.
Well, he's starting to get away from central defenders now, Henrik Larsson. Starting to pull them all over the place. Nice pass back to Moravcik. A little flick over the crossbar.
Signed by Dr. Joseph Venglos. Lubo Moravcik.
Big favourite here at Celtic Park, Steve. Did exceptionally well.
46 now, and currently the under-17 coach of the Slovakian national team back in his homeland. And you can tell he's got the ball again. Thompson. Away by Dublin. Faulkner. Inadvertently found Butler. That's not the worst cross. And it's headed behind by Simon Webb. And that's a Celtic Legends corner.
That was a good cross from Gerard Butler, unfortunately. No Celtic player at the back post.
Can they create anything from this? Larsson almost took that away from me, Albi. Chance for Ricky Whittle to stretch his legs. And Whittle's ball almost found Blackmore. The Celtic fans appreciating Paki Bonner's quick feet.
He came out quicker there than he did when he was playing for me, Steve.
Magic Moravcik with the cross. Fortune in ahead of Larsson. This is Fortune and Dublin a lot busier in the last 10 minutes.
Well, I think they're going to be certainly a lot busier in the second half as well. Henrik Larsson looks lively and bright and looks very, very fit.
Good run by Silla. That was deflected. And fairly comfortable for Patrick Kilty. Good run by Silla. That was deflected. And fairly comfortable for Patrick Kilty. Won back by York. Keane assumes responsibility. Celtic pushing up. Leclerc couldn't find a way through.
Right there, Steve. They kept pushing up high line. It was only about 10 yards from the halfway line. Any ball went through the defence there and they were in trouble.
Little. Given away by Neil Webb. And this is Larson. This is certainly an opportunity, but the flag was up. And you can see what Mialbi thinks of the decision.
I think he's right, Steve. I think the referee's assistant's got it wrong. I don't think Mialbi was offside. Oh, no chance. No way is he offside. Ball actually comes to him.
Has to contest the decision these days in the dugout alongside Neil Lennon. He's enjoying his opportunity to do so on the pitch again this evening.
Will we see Neil Lennon in the second half?
We will.
Neil Lennon, Roy Keane, midfield battle. That'll be good.
Playing alongside each other for a short time, of course, in that Celtic midfield. And that mid-cup victory. For the challenge. Russell Watson, who we heard belt out Nessendormer before the game, is going to make a cameo appearance for Manchester United. He's in his kit, waiting patiently. The United legends still have a one-goal lead. Moravchik rolling back the years.
He's starting to tire. He hasn't been on that long, Moravchik. I've just got a feeling, Steve, it's going to be a long and difficult second 45 minutes for the United lads. Celtic boys just starting to get on top a little bit, and one or two of the lads in red just starting to wilt.
We anticipated it would be keenly contested, and it hasn't disappointed. Didn't reach Larson. Boyd, who is certainly aware of Dwight York's presence tonight, shall we put it that way?
Well, Dwight's been lively. He said before the game he was up for it, he was desperate to win. Hasn't let anyone down. As a matter of fact, no one's been let down. Looking around Celtic Park, I still can't believe the crowd. Unbelievable attendance. The players on the pitch, they've played their part as well, and it's been a great 43 minutes.
Capped off from a Celtic point of view by seeing Henrik Larsson score again. He did score 3 goals in Manchester United red in his 13 appearances as well. And such was the man of Henrik Larsson, despite the severe persuasions of Alex Ferguson to get him to stay that season at Manchester United. He'd given his word that he was rejoining Helsingborgs in Sweden, and he didn't want to let them down.
No, that doesn't happen very often nowadays, Steve. All credit to him to turn down that opportunity of going back to Old Trafford for another season and honouring what he had promised his Swedish side. All credit to the man.
Inside the last minute of the first half, there may be a few celebrities out there who are rather glad of that fact. Well held up by York. Space for Neil Webb now. Trying to feed Ricky Whittle. Neatly done again by Paki Bonner. York. Stopped by Boyd, picked up by Keane. And the Albi in the way of Webb. And that is the last action. As what has been a competitive and indeed entertaining first half. Darren Campbell adding to the strike from Dwight York to give Manchester United a 2-0 lead. But the script, of course, was written for Henrik Larsson on his return to Celtic Park to get on the score sheet from the penalty spot. And that is the reason, at the break, it is Celtic Legends 1, Manchester United Legends 2.
Raised more than £50,000 already just during that first half. Right, let's go back to our commentary team for the second half. Lou Macari and Steve Bower.
Well, it's a huge draw as you join us because the Celtic manager, Neil Lennon, is a half-time substitute. Listen to the noise. Well, the man who won 5 SPL titles in his playing career here. And he's just begun a season to try and deliver it for the first time as a manager. It is Manchester United who lead by 2-1 to get us underway in the second half. The Bolton manager, Owen Coyle, is also on at half-time for Celtic. Boyhood Celtic fan. Big moment for him, and there's his first touch in ahead of Roy Keane. Nicky Byrne of Westlife. Moravcik. First touch for Lennon. Into his former teammate Larsson. Comfortable for Patrick Kilty.
Well, looking forward to this, Steve. Neil Lennon versus Roy Keane in that midfield. And Owen Coyle as well. Not so long ago, played for Bolton reserves.
Just learning that it's a crowd of over 54,000 inside Celtic Park tonight.
Well, that is magnificent, Steve. Absolutely magnificent. Well done, Celtic. Well done, the crowd. United supporters as well. I saw about 500 or 600 of them here. Magnificent attendance.
And they're not being disappointed in terms of the entertainment so far. Webb is down. This is Larsson for Celtic. Looking for Coyle. Excellent challenge by Dion Dublin. I should also point out, Roy Keane also wants to win. He might give tomorrow spoiled if he doesn't. He is 40 years of age tomorrow. His 40th birthday. Roy Keane reaching a milestone.
You think we'll ever see a player like him again, Steve?
Never.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable player.
He's of course out of the game after his time at Ipswich to managerial jobs, waiting carefully for the next opportunity on that side of things. He's a character as well, Lou. They're a dying art. It would be a shame if he was lost to football somewhere along the line.
Well, it certainly would be, but you know what he's like. We all know what Roy's like. He wants everything from everybody. He wants 100%. And he's probably just finding at this moment in time, certainly with his last club, Steve, that getting that 100% out of everybody every week is not going to happen.
It's just too strong for Owen Coyle. What odds would you give me Roy Keane once being Celtic manager in the future?
Well, I mean, it's not a long shot, Steve, because he's a Celtic man and the crowd here love him, but I think everyone's hoping Neil Lennon does well. There's no need for change of manager.
Russell Watson, this is such a thrill for him. He, of course, has had his own medical problems that he's had to overcome as well. And for him, a Manchester United lifelong fan, to pull on that shirt, he replaces Ricky Whittle. He's a huge honour. So much so that he went on a little too early there.
He'll love every moment of it, Stevie. You could see him in the dugout, or just behind the dugout in the first half, itching to get on. He's on now. Great moment for him.
Coyle's touch. Gerard Butler is stern on as well, and he just brushed Roy Keane aside there. Nicky Burns cross. Brazier has to get there for Manchester United, and he did.
That was a good defensive header from Jeff Brazier at that back post. This was dangerous ball in from Nicky Burn. Lovely cross into the back post, and just as well Jeff was there.
Moravcik with the corner, headed away by Keane, only as far as Lennon. He's encouraged to shoot by the Celtic faithful. Square instead to Burn, and the first touch for Watson. Nicky Burn, who was on Leeds United's books as a teenager as a goalkeeper. In fact, he actually won an FA Youth Cup winners medal. And they won the trophy in 1997 as a backup goalkeeper. Had his chance to put his name in lights in terms of being on the goal scoring sheet tonight, despite the fact that in his day job he's sold 44 million records worldwide.
I think Russell Watson rather is going to find out quickly it's easier singing than playing football.
In fairness to Russell Watson, he set the tone perfectly with that rendition before kick-off.
That was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
That's too strong for Coyle. Fortune. Neil Webb. Simon Webb dispossessed by Moravcik. Lennon. Mamosilla. Away by Dublin. Mialbi. Neil Lennon's assistant with the long ball. Picks out Larson. And then at the back post was Burn, and Fortune was in the way. And it's a corner to the Celtic legends.
A lovely play from Celtic. Lovely ball from Mialbi. Out to Henrik Larsson. Nice pass across the face of the goals. Nicky Burn at the back post.
Thompson drilled it at pace and wide. And that gives us an opportunity to hear from two old sparring partners. The man in the middle is Ned Bolting.
Yeah, I've got the old adversaries from the ring here. Steve, you've already seen a bit of action. Nigel, still to come for you.
I'm just waiting to come on, mate. Give me about 20 minutes and I'll be happy with 20 minutes. That'd be good for me.
Yeah, OK. Well, Steve, how was
the heavyweights always come on last night.
Thank you very much, Steve. Nice compliment.
You're both in fantastically good nick, I have to say, with the passing of the years. When was the fight? When was it? What year was it?
I retired November 96, November the 9th, 96. That was the last time I fought against him.
Yeah, I was about 22 years old then, wasn't I? Yeah.
And
don't talk about dates and age.
No,
Talk about something
that,
positive.
yeah,
Too long ago, you know.
Steve, you look good out there on the pitch in the first half. You enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, he asked me to go back on again in the second half. But I think I've done my ankle. I don't know. I'll probably last about 5 minutes to see how it goes. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it was okay till I got a ball. When I got the ball, I didn't know what to do.
That's when it went wrong. And Nigel, just finally, of course, your cousin Paul is the governor. What's he taught you down the years?
Taught me to keep my hands up. That's about all he taught me. To just keep my hands up. Nothing about football, mate. That was not my job. Boxing's my job. But you know, it's all for a good cause. That's why I'm here.
Good stuff. Enjoy the evening. Thanks, guys.
Here's Dwight York onside for the Manchester United legends. To McClare. And Lennon in very much the right place at the right time. Larson with the captain's armband on for Celtic now. He's picked up Burn. Has Butler in support. Not surprisingly, he is looking for Larson again. Rolling back the years. The King of Kings has done it again for Celtic to level it up at 2-2.
How many times we've seen Henrik Larsson do what he's done here. Inside the box, bending shot. Patrick guilty, stationary. All out to Larson. Looks up, bends the ball right into that far corner. Wonderful goal for a wonderful player. Certainly looked lively right throughout the game.
Substitution for the Celtic legends as he made the player off, Johan Jalmé. And please welcome back to Celtic Park, Didier again.
Whatever the Celtic supporters see from now on in, that has just topped off the evening. I think Martin O'Neill quite enjoyed that too. So all square. I'm sure that was worth the admission money alone for most Celtic supporters.
Well, to be honest, Steve, we were hoping that would happen at some stage of the game. Henrik Larsson would score, but that goal was typical of Larsson.
Silverus won a corner. Didier again has just come on. Another former Celtic player. They're gathering in numbers at the moment. The Manchester United legends are up against it.
Well, they're up against it. There's still a long, long way to go. 35 minutes still on the clock, and just got the impression Celtic got upper hand now and just may go on to win this game.
Moravcik, Larson. The next chapter in the script is surely a Larson hat-trick. Lennon from distance.
No, I was just about to say, Steve, no, the next chapter in the script is the manager Neil Lennon scoring a goal.
He managed 3 of them in his Celtic professional career. That wasn't what he was renowned for, in fairness to the Celtic manager. Just to give you an idea of how seriously Celtic want to win this game. There's only 2 celebrities left on the pitch, Gerard Butler and Nicky Byrne. 9 ex-professionals, but here come Manchester United again, headed away by Sutton. Substitute goalkeeper Alan McKnight was backpedaling there. So the Manchester United legends are about to introduce Richard Ashcroft, who fans of the Verve would be well versed with, the lead singer and now solo artist, a huge Manchester United fan. Deep conversation with Roy Keane prior to the game. This is Byrne for Celtic. Good challenge by Brazier, did just enough.
He's done well tonight, Nicky Byrne, for the celebrities. I think that's about the 5th or 6th time in the game he's got into the penalty area, looked very dangerous, missed a golden opportunity, but there's still time for him to score.
Here's York, he has Simon Webb up with him. Didier Gap. And he's recently been introduced to win it back for Celtic. Larson. Owen Quill moving like a spring chicken on ahead of him.
Spring chicken, Steve. I don't think Owen will thank you for saying that. I've seen him move quicker.
Desperate to receive the ball from Larson. Manchester United are making a double change. Ricky Whittle is coming back on, and Richard Ashcroft is entering the fray. Simon Webb just checking he's one of the players to depart. And Russell Watson has had his cameo appearance, and he is the owner.
I just knew he wasn't going to last long, Steve.
So Ricky Whittle, you may also know from a couple of years ago as the runner-up in Strictly Come Dancing. He's on for Manchester United, and as I say, a huge moment now for Russell Watson. Sutton has found the gap. There's a lot of former teammates from the same Celtic team on the pitch now too.
I'm going to ask Russell Watson after the game, Steve, how difficult he found it. And I expect him to say it's been the most difficult 10 minutes of his life, but he's loved every minute of it.
And Angus Deaton is waiting to experience it too. Celtic legends have a corner. Moravcik to deliver it, but only after Nicky Byrne. And he's been replaced, and he's been replaced by a man who'll be extremely proud. An auction winner, the prize to play in this game. Congratulations to Stephen Craig. Dublin needs to make. Congratulations to Stephen Craig. Dublin needs to make that, and he did. In ahead of Larson. It's another Celtic corner.
Well done to Nicky Byrne. I thought he did exceptionally well. Fitness levels were good.
Moravcik. By Richard Ashcroft. Moravcik not impressed.
Missed time tackle, that's all it was. I think we might see a few of these tackles in the remaining 30 minutes. I think it's going to be one-way traffic towards that United goal.
This might be a test for Patrick Kiltic. Moravcik, cut up by Ralph Little, and away by Keane. Thompson. This is Sutton. And Butler on the turn.
He's desperate to score, Gerard Butler. First half of a golden opportunity. Missed it. Keeps trying.
Craig again from the retail world. His left foot and has Silla ahead of him. Nice ball from Coyle. 4 waiting here for Celtic. Kilty didn't get there. Away by Whittle. And the Manchester United legends are living dangerously.
Well, I think it's going to be tough for them, Steve, in the remaining time in the game. Patrick Kilty now start to come under severe pressure.
Foot of Alan Thompson to deliver the corner. More direct this time. Back in from Larson. There was Craig, away by Dublin, and then by McClare. Manchester United haven't the luxury to replace their former players. They haven't got the numbers to do so. There's Brian McClare again. Keane. Stopped by Thompson. Larson, who incidentally is now a manager himself in the second division in Sweden. He's tearing into the box again. Lannon. Well read by Fortune.
And you know, Steve, how Manchester United are renowned for finishing well in every game. Just got a feeling tonight the team that got out there are not going to carry on that tradition. They're starting to tire, but if they can get the next goal, that will keep them going. But I think it's vital they do get the next goal.
Keane. Whittle is unmarked at the back post, and he's onside here too. And he's gone for goal, and that's beaten away by McKnight. Player Lou, who left Celtic for West Ham, where you were his manager.
Yeah, difficult time at West Ham Alan had, but also the makings of a good goalkeeper, good save there. Just looks as if it's heading for the far corner. Good save from Alan McKnight.
Didn't get too many opportunities as the backup to Taki Bonner. He did get a medal in '88 when they won the title. He also played in the Scottish Cup final when they won it that year as well, because Taki Bonner was injured. He's taken over from Taki Bonner at half-time tonight. Sutton. Brazier. York. Looks like he could still play tonight, Dwight York.
He can still play, Steve, and the evidence of what we've seen up to now, he's been good. Leading the line, cool there, just calming the game down a little, and that's what's required.
Keane went from being his teammate to his manager, of course, at Sunderland. Here's York again. Ashcroft has found Ralph Little. Webb. Keane there first. Richard Ashcroft. On the strength of Silla too much. It's a poor kick by McKnight. Picked up by Keane. Ashcroft. Cleared by Sutton. And this is Larson. In from Sutton. This is Craig. And Moravcik. Into the Celtic supporters who are adopting the Manchester City Poznan dance.
Steve, it's not like a Champions League evening here at Celtic Park. The crowd are going absolutely crazy, loving every moment of it.
Momo Silla is replaced by the former Celtic striker Frank McAvenny, who had 2 spells here, of course. One under Lou Macari. You also managed him at West Ham, didn't you?
I did, Steve. What a character. There was never a dull moment with Frank McAvenny, I can assure you. And even tonight, you meet him after not having seen him for a long, long time, and then he comes, happy as anything, bright as a button, and life's wonderful as far as Frank's concerned. But what a goal scorer. At his prime, tremendous goal scorer.
43 goals, just over 100 games in his 2 spells. Frank McAvenny, including 2 late goals in the '88 Scottish Cup final to beat Dundee United, which he's fondly remembered for.
When I was at West Ham with him, Stevie, he ended up with a broken leg. And when I went to Celtic as manager, first day I met him, he was on crutches, and he said to me, "You're a jinx."
Was he right? I sincerely hope he doesn't get injured when you're watching him tonight, then. That's cut out by Dublin. Larson. Larson's touch towards McAvenny. Gerard Butler has been on from the start without a rest.
That surprises me, because most of the celebrities have long time gone, but he's still bombing along. I think he's desperate to score a goal at Celtic Park.
Lennon dispossesses Whipple. Moravcik is looking for Larson. Well watched by Fortune. Fortune and Dublin have been a backbone of the Manchester United Legends team tonight.
They've both done exceptionally well. Surprising as well, Steve, because they're not defenders. Normally,
Dion did play a little bit.
Dion a little bit, he's a centre forward.
John Kelly, an auction winner, is going to achieve a lifetime achievement by winning out at Celtic Park. And Gerard Butler finally is taking a rest. Huge Celtic fan, born in Paisley, terrific reception as well.
Oh, well done, Gerard. Kept going. It wasn't easy for him, but he kept going as you'd expect him to do.
In from Thompson. Patrick Kilty got just enough on it. McAvenny's lurking, and Kilty recovered extremely well.
thought for a moment this was heading for the back of the net. Was it Frank McAvenny's header, or was it Dion Dublin? And Larson to the back post, ball comes in. It was Dion Dublin. Good save from Patrick Kilty.
Moravcik beaten away by Kilty.
He's not bad, is he, Patrick Kilty? 2 good saves in the space of a minute.
A big puff of the cheeks from the TV presenter and comedian.
It's a decent shot, it's a decent save as well. You see it again, I didn't think he was going to get to that. I thought that was heading right for the top corner.
Webb to his former teammate McClair. Ryan McClair at 47 is still on as well. And of course in charge of Manchester United's academy, Alan Thompson, the Celtic first-team coach. Larson, I don't think he realised the time he had there, Henrik Larsson.
It's not often you see Larsson making the wrong decision, Steve.
Martin O'Neill again tonight, having played for him at Villa and Celtic, and he's still going here. That's a useful delivery, just over Larson. He's got it back now from Thompson. Moravcik. Good block by Roy Keane. In fact, it was Richard Ashcroft in ahead of Roy Keane. Lennon. The Celtic pressure continues. And that's deflected. So a Celtic corner.
Celtic team now lining up to shoot at goal, Steve. With a long, difficult last 20 minutes for United boys. A few hands on hips.
The auction winner John Kelly is in there, amongst others for Celtic. Ralph Little away. Curious corner, that one. Certainly hasn't had as much service in this second half.
Well, that's because the United boys are starting to tire, Stephen. If they can hold on and end up with a 2-2 scoreline, they'll be delighted because, as you know, speaking to someone before the game, they were very, very apprehensive about how this game was going to go, but they've done remarkably well.
They certainly would have taken 2-2 at the time going into the last 20 minutes.
No doubt about that.
Keane. Fortune. Little is onside. To return the favour again. That's a Manchester United corner.
Well, it's a long time since United have been up this end of the pitch. They should really take their time and with the corner kick, give some of the players a little bit of a breather. They've been chasing around for the last 15-20 minutes.
Dublin has made his way forward. We're hoping he hasn't got a scamper straight back. Corner's gone short to Keane. McClair. Lennon in ahead of Keane. Dublin is looking for York, who's timed his run. Still York. Well, let's get some more reaction on the touchline. Gerard Butler completed 70 minutes. He's with Ned.
There is Gerard Butler just catching his breath. Gerard, I thought you were going to go the whole 90 minutes there uninterrupted.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder that myself. I was hoping I wasn't going to go the whole 90 minutes. I was waiting for somebody to come on and rescue me. Was I going to have to go back and go, help me out, Martin, you know?
Yeah.
But
home is a very, very long way away these days. But how far back does your connection with this club go?
Since I was born, basically. But I think I was a St Mirren supporter up until I was about 6, and then I realised the light and started supporting Celtic, and I've been with them ever since. I mean, how can you not? You know. I can't even tell you though. It's kind of unbelievable to be here right now, having played with the boys, you know.
And you're itching to get back on, aren't you? I mean, Celtic are building up a head of steam now. You want to be a part
know
of
they're
this?
starting to look not bad, so it's about time for me to go and spoil that again.
Good man. Thanks for that. Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
You can see exactly what it means to him. Manchester United are making a double change before this corner. Peta. York is onside, but Peta was back to help out for Celtic. Such a long time ago. Dwight York opened the scoring inside 2.5 minutes. And set up Darren Campbell for Manchester United to take a 2-goal lead. Only to be pegged back. Here's Larsson. And still couldn't quite find Clark.
Well, he's moving as quick in the 77th minute, Henrik Larsson, as he was in the first couple of minutes. Non-stop, energetic centre forward at his best. Seems no different nowadays.
That's the biggest compliment you can pay him, really.
Oh, only go on what you see, Steve. You look at him move, and there's no sign there of an ex-player. No disrespect to the rest of the ex-players, but you can tell. But with Henrik, when he starts moving, lovely gliding action, and still great in the air. Saw that in the first 20 minutes when he won 2 headers.
Two for Celtic, 2 for Larsson. Some things never change. And the Dark Destroyer is still waiting to pack his punch down there.
Give him 5 minutes on the pitch, Steve, and I don't think he'll destroy anybody. They find it so difficult when they get on a football pitch compared to playing their own sport, or as we've seen tonight with the celebrities.
What were you like in the ring then?
No good.
Larsson inside the last 12 minutes now. Bobby Peta in towards McAvaney, won by Little. Here's Larsson. Peta again. Well defended by Brazier. Still with Bobby Peta for Celtic. In towards McAvaney. Clark couldn't get there. Webb mops up for Manchester United. Clare fouled by Sutton.
I think if I had to pick a celebrity man in the match, Steve, for me it'd be close between Ralph Little and... Well, no, it wouldn't be close, it'd be Ralph Little. I'd settle for him. I think he's been great right throughout the game. He's kept going. Gordon's kept him on the pitch and sprayed the ball about, defended well. Jeff Brazier's done well at right back as well.
Moravcik. That's done well to keep that in. That's a foul by Whittle.
It's not easy to match for pace. Didier Gart, very quick player.
Stephen Melville, another one who's won the chance to
Substitution for
Have the opportunity of a lifetime as a Celtic fan.
I spoke to Stephen before the game, he couldn't believe it. He was here at Celtic Park tonight.
And what one to tell the grandchildren. I replaced Chris Sutton at Parkhead.
Even better if he scores, Steve. What a night it would be for him.
Terrific reception for Chris Sutton. 7 trophies in his time at the club. And finally, Nigel Benn, the former WBO middleweight and super middleweight champion of the world. And he's going to come on to replace Ricky Whittle. Come a long way. He lives in Mallorca now, Nigel Benn, to support tonight's cause.
Hard man to please, little Gordon, is it? Ricky Whittle makes one mistake, mistimed tackle, off he comes, on comes Big Ben.
Here comes the Celtic free kick, well defended again, this time by Dublin. Moravcik, that came off little. Larsson!
Just knew it.
It just had to be, didn't it? Hat-trick for Henrik Larsson on his return to Celtic Park. And for the first time tonight, the Celtic legends have the lead.
There's nothing Patrick Keelty could have done about it. Typical Henrik Larsson. Half a chance inside the box. He makes it look so simple. Spins on right almost on the penalty spot. 12 yards out, right into the corner. Larsson hat-trick. We expected it. I think it got a slight deflection, Steve, on the way there. Doesn't matter, it's a Larsson goal. It's a Larsson hat-trick.
You just think he'd never been away. And just listen to the adulation for this man. A reminder, 242 goals in 315 games.
Well, it's made what has been a good night, Steve, into a great night. Everyone here at Celtic Park's delighted. Their team's in front. Henrik Larsson, the hero from the past, has got a hat-trick. And a worthy cause.
The old adage of any Manchester United team is don't write them off. This is a tired one, understandably so, because of lack of resources. But there is still 6.5 minutes to go. And the likes of Keane, York, Webb and McClare are still on the pitch. But they might have more defending to do here. Moravcik, Larsson, McAvenny to his right. This is Bobby Petr for 4. The Dutchman might just have won it for the Celtic legends. The treble winner in his time lifts the roof at Celtic Park.
Well, it always looked on the cards, United lads, long before this goal's gone in the back of the net. Started to tire, legs not moving as quick as they were in the first 45 minutes of the game. And that man, Henrik Larsson, well-timed pass, well-weighted, right into the path of Bobby Petr, into the back of the net. Once again, Patrick Keelty, no chance. Look at him go, Steve. We're near the end of the match and he's still flying.
Martin O'Neill wasn't going to rest him for a single second tonight, was it? He would have been lynched if he tried.
Well, you'd expect some teams that are watching tonight, Steve, to try and get him back into football. Hey, the way he's played, the way he's moved, the way he's taken his opportunities, you'd have thought he's never been away from the game.
39 now. Henrik Larsson. You're right in the centre. You think about Teddy Sheringham playing to 41, 42. Gordon Strachan, of course. The Manchester United manager tonight played into his 40s too.
Yeah, there's no reason why Henrik Larsson always felt he just retired a little bit too early, but it was his decision. But what a fantastic player.
And there's 3 players coming back on for Celtic now. Gerard Butler is the first one. view. He's also coming back on. Ralph Little is departing. Manchester United are going to bring on Tinchy Strider, a songwriter and rapper, and also John Bailey, Britain's most famous fisherman. And it's going to be a huge thrill because we were talking to him a little bit earlier on. He was so thrilled he wanted a picture with Lou Macari. Big applause as the Celtic manager Neil Lennon departs. And then Henrik Larsson.
I signed his fishing book as well, Steve, by the way. Henrik Larsson, what a player, what a reception, what a night for Henrik Larsson. He's had a lot of great nights, Steve, but I think if you speak to him after the game, he'll tell you this has been one of his greatest nights.
Even at his age, he's still writing the script and making the headlines.
Man sitting alongside him, Lisbon Lion, John Clark, played with him here at Celtic Park. Centre-half alongside Billy McNeil, what a wonderful player he was.
Just look what that reception means to Henrik Larsson, Lou, and the affinity he has for this football club.
Well, it's great, Steve, when you come back to a club that you played for and they cheer your name and they sing all around the stadium, is singing for you.
This is Dwight York. McClare. Done really well. Manchester United ex-pros to get through the 90 minutes.
Oh, without a doubt, Steve. I thought they'd be long gone by now. I thought they'd be on their knees, but they've kept going. All credit to them. The Celtic have just been too strong and too fit and too young.
No foul. Petter's in for his second. Celtic's fifth. 3 for Larsson, 2 now for Bobby Petter. And it's fair to say the Celtic legends are enjoying the evening.
Quentin Fortune just looking for the referee to come to his aid by awarding a free kick, but I didn't think it was a free kick. Bobby Petter just pushes Quentin Fortune out of the way, a little nudge there. Quentin appealing for the foul. Just the goalkeeper to beat, slides it past Patrick Keelty, no problem.
(5-2) Celtic. Martin O'Neill wants to introduce a couple more. Owen Coyle's night in the hoops is over. A reminder of tonight's cause and how you can donate to the East Africa Appeal on your screen right now. And Steve Collins is back on in place of Owen Coyle for the last couple of moments. A man who was known as the Celtic Warrior. Tinchy Strider brushed aside by Agat. Keane. Well, there might be an opportunity for a Manchester United goal when the play was over for once, and probably the first time tonight. The control let Dwight York down.
It's not well for tonight, we could say that, but Dwight, his control's been superb. All-round play's been brilliant.
Roy Keane, he's encouraged to shoot, and he couldn't find the target.
I just hope when the final whistle goes, Steve, both sets of players do a lap of honour around Celtic Park. Roy Keane, misplaced shot, a goal just over the top. I think everyone in this ground will stand and applaud both sets of players.
What a night. The scoreline really immaterial in the end. But once again at Celtic Park, the headlines written by one Henrik Larsson. Only he, on his return to Glasgow, could come back with a hat-trick. And together with 2 goals from Bobby Petter, Celtic legends come from 2-0 down to win it by 5 goals to 2. They certainly haven't been shortchanged at Parkhead tonight. Dwight York, the first goal scorer of the 7. But once again, how many times did they used to say that? It's all about Henrik Larsson. 3 for him. A wonderful night has finished. Celtic Legends 5, Manchester United Legends 2.
He has the legs of a 21-year-old, doesn't he, Henrik Larsson? Terrific athlete, terrific talent, and it means so much for the whole of this Parkhead crowd. 54,000 of them here tonight to see Henrik Larsson back in a Celtic shirt. And the atmosphere has been terrific all evening, reminiscent of a Champions League night. And we'll get reaction from all those players when we return.
Holidays. You getting away from it all this summer?
No, the kids are coming too. Maybe next